What is Ahimsa?
Well, Ahimsa really is the essence of the yoga practice. It's Ahimsa means not harming, love and respect really for all of creation. And it's really a result. So it's the first yama listed in the Yoga Sutras by Patanjali, which are guidelines for living. So Ahimsa is, I really think, like the fruit of practice, your meditation and your asana practice, and just your entire yoga practice. But it's also an intention that you kind of have, it's like you can't just practice and then you'll just, develop an attitude of not harming. You also have to set that as your intention, if you so desire, if that's really what you want to get out of it. But in terms of the teachings of yoga, like in the Bhagavad Gita and what Krishna teaches to Arjuna, and like the, Ahimsa is really sort of the essence of the practice. So really understanding that we really are miracles, our bodies, how we function, and that the entire universe and all of creation is incredibly miraculous, and we're all interdependent and interconnected with the earth and with each other and with the animals, and so why would we want to cause destruction? Create it. It happens. That's part of life. But why, it's not perpetuating unnecessary destruction or evil or negativity.
So if you were going to give examples of what it looks like to practice Ahimsa, I mean, maybe for you, maybe for other people, what does it look like to practice it?
Well, I think for me, setting that intention to pay attention, and so in practice, like in asana practice, it's really setting the intention to pay attention to what's happening mentally as you do the practice in your physical body. So not to do the practice just to like get fit or to go as far as you can or to, kind of overpower your body, but to really develop a sensitivity to, again, what's happening mentally, like your own sort of psychology, like how you're responding to the posture in a class, like to the teacher, but kind of listening to your body and then responding in a way that you're not going to harm yourself.
So then is it the same thing as being gentle with yourself?
Yeah. It's like befriending yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole, I think, again, like the whole point of the practice is to learn how to befriend yourself and understand what that means for you. Yeah.
So what does it mean to you for that to be the first part of the yoga practice?
Like, how do I practice that? Or
what does it mean that that's like the number one thing? You said this is the first yama mentioned. Why is that?
Because it's the result of all of the others. It's, that's how I see it. Like, you can set the intention to be not harming to yourself and not harming to other people, and I think that's really important. However, you can set yourself up for failure if you're like, let's say you get angry or you do hurt yourself or you're not slowing down or you do say something intentionally to hurt somebody's feelings or something, in anger or, that comes up. It's like, we have conditioning, and that's why we're doing the practice. And so we have to, so again, like, it's an intention, but also a result of all of the others, like being truthful with yourself and not and, you know, observing when you have those feelings of grasping or trying to get something that's not yours, or, you know, like, you know, tapas, like it's a burning desire, you know, it's like this, concentration and focus on something, whatever that is for you. But you can go too far. You know, you can do that to an extent that you're not paying attention to your family, your kids, or, you know, like, there's a balance that's, you have to strike. And I think ahimsa is you know, not, is that kind of finding that balance. It's like a practice. It's all, you know, every day. You know, but ultimately, I think after, you know, long practice, you have longer periods of being in that state of mind and being, and then ultimately, you know, I think, you know, if you're really practicing, like, you're always in that state. But for, you know, and to go back, like, so, yeah, but for modern times, and like our conditioning is, you know, we can fluctuate and swing back quickly between like negativity and being positive, you know, like himsa and ahimsa, with ourselves, with our own judgment and self-criticism, and then with others. And so, yeah. So, you know, I think we have to be patient with ourselves too. And again, that's like befriending yourself, learning to love yourself, befriend yourself, and hold yourself to a high standard, but not beat yourself down when you fail. I hate you. Don't leave me. I mean, our society is like that these days, you know. And we've talked about that personality type, and everybody sort of has these like fluctuations, and that's the whole, you know, that's the second Yoga Sutra says, like, yoga is the stilling of the fluctuations of the mind stuff, your mental, right? So again, like over long years of practice, those periods of being in a state of peace and love and respect for yourself and everything else, those periods get longer, you know, that not fluctuating back and forth.